All right, what's going on, everybody? It's Thursday Night Live. I know it's been a while since we've done one on a Thursday, since we switched it to Sundays, but this was going to be a good one. It's not RV related, but it's going to be, video and video tech related. So have a special guest that's down below waiting in the basement. I'm going to give it a little bit, see who shows up, and from there we can go ahead and bring them up. We got 3, 4. All right, let me know who's here. Hey, Jeff and Tina, how you guys doing? Thanks for being on. Let me know where you are today. If you're home or you're traveling or where you're staying. Sir Rich, hello, my friend. How you doing, man? Thanks for being on. We appreciate it. All right, let's see. Bobby and Leslie, how are you? Oh, thanks. You can watch it later. That's fine. And Ruth is moderating, so she won't be here. But here's my mom. Hey, Mom. How you doing? Hey, Irish Coffee True Crime. Hello. Thanks for being here. Oh, look, even my dad's here. Hey, Bobby. How you doing? Oh, you guys are at home. Nice. Nice. So are we. And there's the Ruthless welcoming everyone. So she says hello to everyone, by the way, and she probably misses you guys. Today, drinking a little bit of Buffalo Trace. Got it for my birthday. Great stuff. Let's see. Who else do we have? Early. Happy birthday, brother. Hope you had a good birthday. And next time I go to Connecticut, man, we got to definitely catch up for sure. My brother, the master of none. What's up? So, all right. Couple things here. This is going to be, like I said, a different live. I got my buddy David Morefield. David Morefield, he's a freelance videographer, and he does jobs all over the place. I was able to go down to one of his meetups in Orlando. He's out of Orlando, and I was able to meet with him and his group of people that, he's created a network where it's grown of like-minded people, and it was awesome. It was awesome. I went for a day, and it was well worth the trip. I got to meet a lot of good people and made some new contacts. So he's going to come on and tell you a little bit about what he does. And also he has a YouTube channel, which we're going to make sure that we promote. This is it right here. It's just David Morefield. So you guys make sure you check that out. We'll get back and promote it again before we leave. But one thing I want to say is, don't forget, hit that like button. It really, really helps us a lot. And it'll really, really appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe, because we have our Puerto Rico video series and our trip, the 2-week trip that we took, going all over the Northeast. I haven't even started working on those videos, but they're coming. So plus we have some other RV maintenance related and some more, video related. Like we just put out the microphones, and it's just a simple, what kind of microphones are each. Doesn't go deep into the technical part of it. We want to make it simple and easy for people to understand. And the next one's going to be about lighting and what kind of light should you use. So, all right, let's see. Let's just go through a couple more. DKS Home Services, hello. Oh, look, even my daughter's here. Crystal, how you doing? All right, so we're gonna bring our special guest on tonight. And listen, you guys ask questions. That's what this is for. We want it to be very interactive. He's going to tell you a little bit about himself, and then, we'll go from there. We're going to stop, look at comments, and make sure that we answer all your questions. Amp to Glamp. Hello, my friends. How are you? Thanks for being on. All right. So David, are you ready? All right, here we go.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
How you
Thanks for
doing?
being
Can you guys
on.
hear me?
Yep, good audio.
Cool. Yeah, no, happy to be here. This is a completely different community that I'm not a part of, so it's going to be really interesting to kind of mix
Yep,
it.
yep. It's a great community. Like people that go camping, it's its own little world and knit community. They help each other. If someone's on the side of the road, we'll stop and check on them to make sure that everything's okay. So, welcome for being here. Welcome. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, I don't quite have an RV. I do have a Subaru, so I'm
Nothing
making my
wrong with
way.
that. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell our viewers what you do, a little bit about yourself, and then we can go into more of the specifics.
Yeah. So I would say first and foremost, I make money with cameras, and the avenue that has taken throughout the last 10 years is very different along the way. So it started just by filming skateboard contests, and then it grew into small commercials. I saw some success in real estate photography and videography. And then more recently, I've gone into interviews and documentary. And that's kind of where I'm landing now, where I'm able to go to do or I'll say well-paying executive interviews for corporations or documentaries for people who are creating stories. That's
Nice.
kind of the gist.
Yep. That's good. I mean, I've been like for me, I've been dealing with video stuff since my dad's big VHS camera, and it's been about 10 years or so, 12 years that I've gone to do some work for the company I work for and weddings. We won't talk about that because I just can't do those anymore. But I've been trying to do some other things, so that's great. You watching your videos have inspired me to get my butt up and start doing some more of it. So I appreciate that. Um, so tell us a little bit, like what made you get into this field and why do you like it so much?
Well, just getting into video production was because of skateboarding with friends and then watching cool skateboarding videos. So that kind of creativity with skating lent itself to creativity with the camera, and then it just kind of snowballed from there. And then once I figured out that commerce was possible and owning your own business was possible,
Yeah.
it really was an early on epiphany that I didn't want to go the traditional route. I hated the idea of a 9 to 5 and putting my time in for someone else because I was exposed to putting time in for myself and getting a direct paycheck from the client. And I never wanted to switch that. I had one job where I was washing dishes. It lasted 3 days. I said, this wasn't for me. I just wasn't built for it.
Excuse me.
And then,
Yeah.
I had one other small seasonal job at a call center for 2 months, and I felt like it was the worst thing possible. Everybody else was doing fine, but I could
Yeah.
not. And so,
I'll tell you a quick story. I worked in a restaurant and I actually worked at McDonald's. And the one day they said, "Oh, you can't leave. You got to finish whatever." I'm like, "It's time for me to go." I just quit, and I just can't deal with that. Um, and I worked in a cubicle before, but I was always itching to go out and do something. That's why my job now, at least, I get to travel and move around, so it's not so bad. My company's a good company, but I fully understand that. So that's awesome, man. That's great.
yeah, it's. I feel like once you are kind of owning your own time, and let's say, I'm freelancing, I don't have a boss. If I'm not doing something, that's because I'm choosing not to do something. If I am
Right.
working, it's because I'm choosing to work. And just being able to make that decision removes so much just extra distraction, and it just makes you feel a lot better whenever you make a decision.
Yep. Yep. That's a good point. Um, well, the other thing, David has a YouTube channel, and that's how I stumbled on him because I'm a camera geek and I like to look at different things. And he does something that's special that I love is behind the scenes. When I was a kid, I loved to see behind the scenes on what movie was made, and it's cool that he does the job he does, all those different jobs, but he shows you the behind the scenes. So talk a little bit about the YouTube channel, how that journey started.
So it started when I had a lull in work. So, you know, the one thing that people are afraid of with freelancing is, well, what happens when the work starts to slow down? I can't handle that. That's why I need a full-time job. And I understand that. But if you're able to kind of fix your finances to be able to weather the storm, it will swell back up again. But I was going through a low point and I was like, man, I have one job for 2 weeks. I'm wasting time. I'm not doing anything. I'm trying to send out proposals, not getting any return, sending out emails. So I just said, well, during this one job, I'll film. I'll film with my phone because there's another YouTuber called Cranky Man that makes amazing behind the scenes vlogs, and I feel like I'm on a job shadow with him. It's a job that I wouldn't be able to get by myself because he's so much further in his career. Maybe I can do that for someone who's a little bit earlier on. Someone wants to see what it's like to be at my level. And so I just completely copied what he did. And I'd give him some shout outs like, I'm taking what you're doing and I'm just putting it towards my situation. And it just, started to slowly grow. I don't have a big channel. I got 2,500 subscribers and,
well,
but it's growing.
You grew faster than we did, that's for sure. But people like that. People like the behind the scenes, and you give that insight that people are curious about. So that's awesome, man. I'm happy for you that you're able to do that. And then for all you guys out there watching, and I get a lot of questions from you guys about gear and just whatever about filming or starting a YouTube channel. This guy, I mean, his camera, if you check out his camera that he's got on right now, that's why the picture is so lovely. He's got a Sony FX6, right? So if you go watch his videos, you definitely got to go check out his channel. But the contrast is he films with his iPhone. So that shows you that anybody could do this. Anybody could start a YouTube channel. As long as it's something that someone wants to watch, you'll have an audience. And he's done a great job with it.
Yeah, that's a common question I get. What camera are you filming your BTS with? And then the other thing is I have people who are saying, "Oh, I want to do this, but I don't have a good camera setup, or I do have a good camera setup, but I can't use that for behind the scenes." And I said, they're afraid to use their phone because it might diminish the branding of themselves, that it'll give a much less polished look. But I think what you're giving up in the image quality from the phone, which is still really, really good, you're gaining in showing moments that would be very hard to capture with a bigger camera. In the moment commentary about, I'm doing this job and this problem happened and this is what I did to solve it. That's the value of having a small camera like a phone, is you can just get those real moments and put those into the video.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, listen, I preach that because for the longest time I had that mindset where like, because I love cameras and I love all that stuff. It's like, I can't film with this. It's going to look like crap, I mean, this camera it's just a camcorder, but it's 4K. It does the job. I mean, it's, I use that mostly for like when we're traveling, you want to zoom into something and capture it closer. It works great. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what camera you have. You can do it and it'll work. So let's take a look at the comments real quick here, just see where we're at. And I think it's kind of everyone talking to each other. My wife says you're here as long as Boomer. So Boomer is a Canadian, and he has an RV, and he travels. He was all over the United States, and then he went back to Canada. We just saw him back in June in Ohio at a friend's meetup. And he's a great guy. So but except his is silver because he's old. But
I'm on my way. I'll get there soon.
But yeah, he's a jokester. Here's the comment. He says, "This guy needs a haircut." Just kidding. He's rocking the haircut.
Yeah, never.
He's a jokester. He's a good guy. Um, but let's see. I think everybody else. Oh, look at this.
Oh, what's up, Ben? Ben is a really young dude. I think he's in high school or just finished high school.
Oh,
Who
wow.
is he's just following what all of all of the people who are making these iPhone freelance videography vlogs. There's a couple of us now, and
Yeah,
it's really great because there's all this information coming, being shared for the masses, for people. I wish I had, when I was your age, Ben, I wish I had someone who was just sharing all this industry knowledge that I could just
definitely.
soak up. So it's a really cool thing for not just for me to share, but for other people to absorb. And
Oh,
and I,
yeah.
I'm just as much as a consumer as well. I love looking at all these other people's vlogs. But as far as hair, I grew it out to about this long and then dreaded it for 4 years and then shaved it off. And this is probably
Start
like
again.
probably 4 or 5 years. Yeah.
Yeah, I had kind of long hair. I think it was kind of like a mullet do back when I was in high school. But
Yeah.
Questions, Adrian.
that was the thing. What'd you say?
There's camera related questions.
Okay. So Amp to Glamp. These guys have a nice size YouTube channel, and they go around all over the place. Good friend of ours. So I've been using my phone more and more lately. Easy to capture moments and would take longer to set up the camera. So there you go. The new iPhones, I mean, particularly, I don't know any Androids because I never had one, but they do a great job, I think. For this kind of thing, I think they do an awesome job, and it's right in your pocket.
No, they do a fantastic job, as far as being able to have a camera looking forward or immediately switch it backwards,
Yeah.
being able to have tools like time lapses or just photos or slow motion. The audio capture is very, very good when you have it
Yes.
at selfie distance.
Yeah.
So it's the perfect vlogging tool. And beyond that, once you film everything, it's just natively able to edit inside iMovie or Cut. You upload to YouTube. So my entire channel is done within this
So
tool.
that's
And
my next. Let's go through some comments, and that's my next question I got for you. Um. All right. So he says, "It's not gray, it's blonde." All right. The Glamping Wilsons. I just started my channel. What software can I use when recording with my Samsung 23? So that's a
so
question that I don't really know because I don't deal with Samsung phones. I know there's a couple third-party editing apps out there. Do you know of any that you can recommend?
100%, yeah. So I was using the native editing software on my iPhone, iMovie, and it's just easy. It's very simple and it's limited.
Yeah.
And then someone put me on to CapCut, so CapCut.
Yeah,
CapCut.
I've heard of that.
And that is an amazing but still simple editing program that can go on your phone, and they've actually just developed it for desktop as well. So
Oh,
if
wow.
you're more comfortable on a desktop, you can be familiar using the same editing system on your computer as you are as your phone. So I would definitely look into that.
Yep. My wife says I'm colorblind. It's funny. All right. Tony says, interested to know how much extra time filming the BTS adds to your day.
Hey Toyin, it's I don't want to say it's an art, but it's hard to just, all I do is just turn it on, swipe, open the camera, film something, and I just kind of have to make the decision right then and there. Am I talking about what I'm filming now, or am I just gonna kind of spray, get a bunch of shots, and then I'll figure that out in the edit with a voiceover.
Yeah.
So the main thing is it cannot intervene into my work. That's just where I want to set the limit, because I am here to do a job for someone else who is paying me. And
so your work is priority. That's just secondary in the background.
absolutely. And even sometimes if it's not intervening, but I can tell people are looking at me, I'll just put it away. I don't want them to think I'm just on my phone the whole time. But you can be sneaky with it. You can throw it over here, put it on a time lapse. You don't touch it for a few minutes, and then, I've also seen people just throw it into slow motion, so that way their 2-second pan is now 8 seconds when they go in to edit it. So,
Nice.
how much extra time? I try to not make it have any extra time. It's usually in the downtime when I will bring it out.
Gotcha. So Ben says 100% huge advantage. Is there a course channel you would recommend for a beginner? Funny you should ask that. We'll talk. If you're talking about like filming or like YouTube stuff, or are you talking about going freelance? So put in the comments, let us know which direction you want to go in. Let's see. Adam says David is the man. Love watching his content. Yeah, he did pretty good.
So, just a kind of a connection point that Adam was aware of me because his buddy in Arizona, where he came from, watched my channel. Adam came to Orlando. His buddy said, hey, I look at this guy on YouTube. He's in Orlando. You should hit him up for coffee. So Adam had no clue about my small vlog, but we met up. And now we've worked together multiple times. I've connected him with other people to work for. I think he might be going on a job in Reno or something for a weekend coming up. So it's a really nice thing when people can have a good community and they share.
No, for sure. And listen, I call myself a gypsy because I lived in Connecticut. I lived in Tampa. I lived in, close to West Palm. Like now I live close to Atlanta. So I'm all over the place. So I haven't set roots in a long time. So I'm planning on doing that here. So that's why I'm trying to kind of get out there and get to meet people and build a network, kind of like what you've done. So hit that like button, guys, by the way, and make sure you go and subscribe to David's channel. Here it is. What's the name of it? Just to make sure that is it just David Morefield?
Yep. I just switched it to David Morefield to make it easier.
Oh, Ruth put it in the comments, and you can go there and just go subscribe, show some support, see what he does and how amazing, some of his work that he gets to do is, and he gets to travel and do some of these things. It's pretty cool. So
yeah, it's more so if you are interested in. I do want to show all of the camera specs and techniques that I use. But the channel is really to show what is the lifestyle of a freelancer. And I am trying to inject more of that in there so people are curious. How many days a week do you work? What do you do when you're not working? What do you do when work dries up? So those are the things I share. And I want to let other people know, like, hey, this is also a lifestyle. A 9-to-5 is a great lifestyle too. It's got a lot of security and structure. But this is also a viable option that has worked for me and my friend and my colleague and my peer. And let me just kind of show you how one scenario of how it works.
Yep. And listen, I'll be honest. I love this since I was in middle school, probably, right? And then I was in the military, whatever. So fast forward, a job with security was important to me, and I never took the plunge. And I don't regret it. I can't go back. It's in the past, right? But now this is where I'm trying to do other things. So I get that. I'm glad that you're able to do it at a younger age, not older like me. But when you have that passion for this kind of thing, it is what it is. And it's like a bug that bites you and you just can't get rid of it. It doesn't go away.
It is. But, and it's also very intimidating if you've never been in the world of freelance. I have a lot of friends who are interested in it, but they just do not want to let go of that structure. And I have convinced them. I've convinced one friend in particular, leave the corporate shackles. Come try freelance. You have ambition, you have drive, you're going to succeed further than me. And within 2 weeks of leaving her job, I said, hey, I have a job for you. I'd like to give you a job. I'll help you out. She goes, I'm already booked up.
Wow, that's awesome.
For months now. And I was like, well, I knew that was going to happen because
that's awesome.
once you get a taste of it, you're like, oh, that's not that hard. It's the same thing I'm doing, except I have a little more responsibility, but also a little more freedom.
Yep.
And then you're like, okay, I can just move on up by using better business practices.
Yep. All right, let's go do some questions, some more. Glam Fam Campers, hello, how you guys are doing? Just got our GoPro wet today, and it's not waterproof. Was also going to ask about software. So it depends, because if you have the little door on it, should be pretty waterproof unless you dove like to the Titanic or something. But that's yeah. You can send Ruth a text later and we could talk about it. But software, it depends, right? I use Final Cut Pro because I used to use Premiere, but Final Cut Pro was just quick. I got the magnetic timeline and I just go quick with it. What do you any suggestions you have?
Yeah. I was a longtime Premiere user, and it's a good system. It's great for the connectivity between the different apps. If you are having large projects being edited with someone doing graphics, someone doing Photoshop, and you need files on the same platform, it's great for that. It's probably one of the only ones that can do that. If you are a single member production, then you have the freedom to choose whatever you want. And when you get to that point, you can choose Adobe for those benefits. You can choose Final Cut because you pay once and then you're free updates for life. Same thing with DaVinci.
Yeah, she has a YouTube channel, and it's Campy related as well. Now the other thing too, I don't know if you saw this on an iPad, you can get Final Cut Pro.
You can. And
$5 a month.
Yes. But, so if you do desktop, which is what I would recommend, you can do. If you're going to do a little bit more extensive editing, then I recommend desktop Final Cut Pro.
Yeah,
it's just an ease of factor thing with a Mac. But yes, they did just announce the subscription for mobile, which could also be great. But before you spend that money, I would say check out iMovie.
Yeah, there's a couple free options, but iMovie works great. I mean, I did iMovie back in 2004 when I first like really started doing some more like commercial work where I would go to doctor's offices because my wife worked for eye doctors, so I would do videos for them, and that's what I used to use, and it worked out pretty good.
Yeah, so. Absolutely. And I would say the first 60 out of my almost 80 vlogs I have done with movie. You got a refill coming.
I like this. I got the Ruthless bringing me refills. All right, M. Jones, how many videos do you think a person should have under their belt prior to starting a YouTube channel? I'll let you answer that, and I'll give them my version of it.
So I had 0. I just put out a video, and the reason someone would want more videos before they do their first upload is because they want the consistency. But if you just film things, you can consistently upload. I don't personally think you need a bank of videos. I think it's easier to just film, edit, throw it up, film, edit, throw it up, and then that way you're juggling less balls. And I have seen people do that in the podcast realm because it's hard to schedule guests and build that up. That kind of makes a little more sense. But if you're just filming your own stuff, you could just do. I don't have a schedule, but you could just do a once a week thing. I film whenever I have a job. I film with my phone and I make a vlog. So
yeah,
you can literally see how much I work by just looking at the vlogs.
Yep, I agree with that. I mean, for me, you got to just put one out there, because if you try to build them up, you're always going to find a reason why. And I went through this with the fact that I always wanted to make the YouTube videos like perfect, like if I was doing a job, and make everything so cut and smooth, and the music and this and that. And it took my wife yelling at me and kind of in my ear to kind of realize that, like, you know what, it's YouTube. Okay, I just need to put a good video that I'm happy with, but I don't need to go. It would take me 8 hours to do a video, which should take me 3 maybe. So I've learned a lot in the past 2 years of us being on YouTube to that fact. So just don't be scared. Do one, put it out there. It's gonna suck. The first one suck, and then they get better. So
Yeah, and I would say you can very easily learn what didn't hit the mark on your video. There's a lot of great tools on the analytics
yes,
where you can see where
definitely.
people just drop off and they go to the next video. So for me, I found out when I'm filming cameras and I'm filming action and the camera's moving, those are looking good. As soon as I hold the phone up and do a selfie and start a monologue for 2 minutes, everybody leaves.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
So
Yeah, I
think
noticed
have
that
a
too.
okay face, but it's nothing's happening. So you
I-
need to fill
I-
that in. I found I need to fill that in with B-roll.
I tell people this: watch YouTube or watch TV on mute, and count how many seconds in between the time that the scenes change, and that's a good way to gauge it. And it's usually about 4 seconds. So, okay, here's another question: no flavor imaging. Do you reach out to clients for work, or do they only contact you? If so, how are you closing the deal? Good question.
So it's a two-prong approach. It's both. The first one is I get a lot of my work from referrals, word of mouth, but it's not referrals from the end client. It's referrals from other crew members that I worked with. So
Right.
I work with them. We talked. It was just a generally good experience. Something comes up later. Either they don't do that position, they're booked, or whatever, they recommend me, and I in turn would like to do the same for them. If they get me
Yeah.
jobs, I would like to get them jobs. That gets me probably 70 to 80% of my work. Just having a tight knit group of people who will call on each other.
It's all
And
about relationships, man. All about relationships.
And then the other 20 to 30% is I will put my videography services on certain sites like Production Hub, or I will look for listings on Upwork, the freelance app. And Production Hub has probably been the second largest pillar most recently. It's
Yeah.
a paid service. You have to pay to be at the front of the search results, and I highly recommend doing that. And basically, people from all over the country will look in your area and they'll type in the keywords they need. So it might be interview, documentary, Sony camera. My profile pops up, they look at it, and then they email me, say, are you available? This is what we're doing. Or they put out a general listing. We are looking for someone in Orlando with a Sony to do an interview. And at that point, I've been with my friends and all of our phones ding at the same time. We all get the job listing notification, and
Nice.
whoever's fastest to it usually wins.
Yep. Nice. All right. So we kind of answered this before, where you kind of gauge it.
Yeah, Ben. I don't know if you were here earlier, but I try not to let it hinder the actual production.
Yeah.
If anything is taking priority, the phone goes away. I have had a client after the fact say, take that down, and it was immediately taken down. But most of the people that I film with, I either ask or we're on a friendship level that it's fine.
Nice. All right, so they kind of answered the question from before: filming, looking to improve skills, and maybe freelance down the road. So, what was the original question? Is there a course? So, again, let's talk offline. There are some things we can do with that. All right.
Yeah, I would also recommend The Art of Documentary is a great online academy. They have different modules for different skill levels, and they are focused on documentary storytelling, but they do have all of the aspects, just commercial filming, whatever you want to do it. The Art of Documentary is a really good
I've been looking at that, but I know there's certain times where they let you in kind of thing. So it's I've seen he's done some work for them as well, right?
Yeah. I was so the great part about The Art of Documentary is you get access to the learning modules, but almost more importantly, you get access to their Facebook group, and that's the community. So you meet people all around the world. I've met people all around Florida. I've invited them. I've hired them, and you can throw questions out there. I'm having trouble with this. Someone will give you their input, and it's just really nice to have that bouncing board. But yeah, the community aspect is really, really good in the art of documentary. It's a little expensive, but it's like school. Whatever you put into it, you get out of it. So good option.
It's like anything else, yeah. All right, so Ben has a question. Can we get a little lighting breakdown on David's setup?
Yeah, so we'll go camera first. This is a Sony FX6 with a 24-70 Mark II. This is what I use for all of my high-paying jobs. And I only have this because I was getting repeatedly asked for this camera. Otherwise, I would have a different one. But I love how this is turning out. We're on autofocus. If I move in, it'll stay focused on me. And then we have one big key light with a soft umbrella kind of giving me light this way. And then you can see here, there is a golden rim light just right above here. That's it, just cross lighting. Very, very simple interview setup.
Yep. It's funny because
lavalier.
Yeah, and it sounds great.
Yeah.
It's funny because like I'm in my RV and I created an office space that's also a studio, whatever. This is where I do my lives here. I'll give you a little sneak peek on this. Let me go back to, there we go. So these are my screens where I see things. My camera's here, microphone, and I have, just like David, a key light, but a smaller version. And then I have a rim light, a hair light up there, and it pretty much, gets me what I need. So, it's cool. Like I love this kind of stuff. And as you can see, David does too. So let's see who else we have here. Hey, Living Out Loud. What's going on? You're not late. You're good. And you can catch up on the replay on the rest of it. So thanks for being on. Let's see. Here we go. Every beginner wants to make their videos perfect. Yes, they do. And I'm telling you, it took me a while to figure out and learn that, like, I got to just let it go. I even thought about letting people edit my videos, which is, my wife is like, really, you're going to let go of control? I'm like, yeah.
I would say people want to perfect their video because they want to show their best effort. But I'll also say once you put something out that had 90% effort and you see the return from the comments, you're like, oh, that 10% wouldn't have made that much of a difference. Nope. It would only have made a difference to me, but it would have delayed the publication schedule. It would have delayed the interactions from the community. Okay, I think I can just get these. If I get these out, it'll have a better return.
Yep. All right, what else we have here? All right.
Don't forget. I want to know something, Adrian.
Yes.
Do all of these? All the people watching, they have their own YouTube channels, and they're all.
A lot of them do. A lot of them are viewers, but they're also YouTubers. We have some viewers that are just viewers, and then there's a lot of them that are friends. So just like you're creating a community when you do your meetups, which we'll talk about in a few, we do the same thing in this community, the YouTube RV community. We try to help each other out. We've had everyone that's on here. I think we've had them on our channel. And we now give them a shout out, like whatever. I'll give a shout out to a big channel, small channel. It doesn't matter. I think there's room on the top for everyone. And if we all work together, we can all come up together. So that's the same approach that we have. So here's Playing Outside Over 50. Friend of ours is Jose and Doris. Great people. And I-95. Oh, they're in North Carolina. Nice. So, look, thank you, David. They're just awesome people. So, oh, by the way, here's the link that Ruth put up. So make sure you go check out his channel. Again, David Morefield. it's cool stuff. I mean, he went down. You went to the Bahamas, right, for Margaritaville shoot. That
Yeah,
you put it?
that was a really cool one. I got hired from a job that I had worked here. So again, just referral based, and they were filming a Margaritaville resort in Nassau, Bahamas. Went there. My whole job was to film on a gimbal, the motorized
Yeah.
camera stabilizer. That was my entire job for 7 days. And on like day one, the scout day, I turned it on, and for some reason, it didn't work. And I was extremely stressed. This is the only reason they hired me. I'm the one who brought the piece of equipment, and it's dead. It's not working. I looked on the island. There was no video stores available.
Yeah.
There was nothing, and I was going crazy. And then I remembered I had mentioned the Bahamas on one of my YouTube channels or one of my YouTube videos a couple weeks prior, and someone had said, "Hey, I just want to let you know I'm here. I'm local. I would love to be involved with the project." And I said, "The crew has already been hired, but it's always good to know somebody. I'll reach out if anything happens." So I reached out to that guy the night before we began filming. And he said, "You're out of luck. Like, there is no store here that sells this camera gear. I have to fly to Florida to buy this, or Amazon.
Wow. Huh.
But I have one if you'd like to rent it." And I said, 100%, let's do it. And he gave me a really good rate, and I threw some on top of it because I was like, "You're saving me. You are absolutely saving me." And he was at the hotel lobby the next morning at 8 a.m. hand delivering it to me. And
That's awesome.
Yeah, his name's Chivago. He was. I put him in the vlog. I explained.
Yeah, I remember seeing it.
It was amazing, and I would have been in the worst position without these vlogs. So sometimes it does pay off in random ways.
So look at here. You got a new subscriber. So there you go. Sherry and Juan are their names. And they have good stuff. You're welcome. So guys, make sure you go check out his channel. Like I said, if you're in this world, he has a meetup in Orlando every month, and talk a little bit about that so people will know. And then I put this out on, obviously it's on Facebook and on YouTube. So that group that we created, there's a lot of guys, a lot of people that joined it, and we advertise on it. So talk about a little bit about the Orlando meetup, and then we can kind of tease a little on the one coming up in Atlanta.
Yeah, absolutely. So I started a meetup with just a couple friends on the vlog, and I said, "Hey, 4 or 5 people have asked me out for coffee. Let's just all go out on the same day. We can talk about camera stuff and nerd out. It'll be fun." So we did that. I took a picture, posted it on Instagram, and it just kind of slowly started to grow. People were saying, "Oh, there's a Orlando filmmaker meetup." Kinda. I just put a title on it. I would like to attend. So that started growing. I think we're at 6 or 7 months now, once a month, and we've hit a nice stride. We're having education sessions where I'm bringing in speakers, and they're talking about their area of expertise. But I'm getting a lot of comments from people around the U.S., from San Diego, Texas, Atlanta, people saying, "Can you do one of those meetups here?" My first message to that is, it's nothing special. You guys can do it yourself.
Yep.
However, the second message is, sure, I would love to do that. So I'll coordinate with certain people in certain areas. Adrian brought up the idea first. Let's do maybe something in Atlanta. So we're thinking maybe something in August, September. We can organize a meetup for filmmakers or YouTube channel holders, content creators, whatever you want to call it, people who use cameras for commerce or creative projects, to just meet up, have some drinks, talk, connect with people who are literally next to you, but you never meet them.
Yep. I mean, here, Atlanta, I mean, this is a big hub for filmmaking, and there's so many studios. Like, I was driving out in the middle of nowhere, and all of a sudden I see the studio, and I'm like, they just built it. I forget the name of it, but it just opened up like 2 months ago, and it's crazy because out in the middle there's like fields and nothing, and there's a giant studio. So there's a lot of that going on in Atlanta, and I'm in a couple of groups that talk about like what films are being filmed where, kind of thing. Um, so I think by us doing this, and obviously because you did it in Orlando, that's why I want you here, because you're the man, you're the master, right? So you started it. I want to grow that here with the local people. So and then we all network together, and then again, it's building that community. So all the Orlando people and the Atlanta people, they all network. We could have one thing once a year, kind of get together, something, right? And we all know each other. We all help each other. We all push each other, and then we're all successful. So that's my thing. When's the next meetup in Orlando? My buddy Jose and Doris. So you don't have a date yet, right?
So what is it? This is July.
July.
I don't have the July meetup next or on paper, but it will be next, and it'll be probably towards the end of the month. I regularly post updates to my YouTube channel or my Instagram, which is
I
linked
was
in
gonna
the
say,
YouTube
yeah.
videos.
Check out.
So I'll put details there.
He puts it on his videos on YouTube, and he also puts it on Instagram. So make sure you guys check that out. Let's see. Oh, my wife is letting you know that your stuff is there. So, all right, you guys. If you guys have any other questions, please let us know. Again, if you could hit that like button, we really, really appreciate it. And make sure you go subscribe to his channel. It takes a second. You can open another window, leave our live, come back, whatever, after the live, whatever you want to do, but go check them out, because I think it'll be worth your time for it.
Yeah, if you guys check out the videos, also if there's another aspect you want to see of a freelance contractor life or videography, like feel free to ask me in the comments, because there's a lot of times where someone will ask me something and I'll say, yeah, I can shed light on that. I can tell you what that's like here. It's normal for me, but I'd be happy to tell other people about it.
Yep. So I think, look, if you guys, everyone here that have a YouTube channel or you want to start a YouTube channel, you kind of got the bug like we do, right? So it might not be as extent to the level as ours, but you have it. So this is a good community. Let us know in the comments if you want David back on, and if you do, let me know, and we'll get him back on in a little while, and we'll try to make it. We'll try to put a poll or something where we kind of tailor it to like a certain topic that people want to know about. So we'll figure all that out, but just letting you guys know. Oh, look at that, another subscriber. So
yeah,
right.
I'll say, Adrian, the fact that you're asking them, do they want me back on? That type of connectivity with the audience is so valuable with YouTube. So a lot of times in the community tab, I'll put an idea, something that just comes into my head. I'll kind of spit it onto the community tab. And if it gets a lot of engagement, I'm like, that might be something for a video. And that market research took 10 seconds. It was completely free, and it was accurate. These are people who are part of my audience, and they are chiming in. So that community tab is really helpful as far as you can do polls, you can post pictures, just text-based, and then you can always link to your video at the end to kind of convert people to getting to your channel.
Definitely. So here, yes, great chat. Bring them back. So there you go. You got some popularity there. So we're about 49 minutes in. Want a quick mention, a little off topic, but back to our RV world. My dog's trying to get in here. So the camp over. If you guys remember, we're having our first meetup coming up in January, and our first meetup is going to be. Let me try to find this picture. Sorry, guys. All right, so let's show you this real quick. Oh, it's not coming up. Okay, I know what I got to do. Sorry, guys. All right. So, as you guys know, the big announcement, we have our first meetup. It's in Lake Park, Georgia, which is literally exit 5 on I-75 North, past the Florida border. And it's in January from Thursday, the 11th, through Sunday, the 14th. And we'd love for you guys to come and hang out with us. We're going to have bonfires every night. That's the biggest thing. We want to have a big bonfire where everybody gets together and we get to know each other and we have that community. So check out our social media. If you want to find out more information, send Ruth an email at ruth@rvlifeproductions.com and she can get you all the information on it. So the other thing too.
Wait, Adrian, have you done that before? That meetup?
Nope, this is our first one.
That is going to be a very cool thing. Just to have people swing by and meet in real life. Like that's the cool part about the meetup is you get to meet in real life and just chill and hang. But
and we're doing it. We're doing it with our friends Adventuring with Jeff and Tina. They have a channel as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be a joint operation between both of us. And yeah, I mean, listen, it's going to be fun. We're almost done with the agenda, and we'll be putting that out. If you're interested, like I said, email Ruth. Hold on, I got to get back to this. Email Ruth at rvlifeproductions.com, and she'll take care of you and get you all the information. The last plug that I'm going to do is this. All right. So go to our website and make sure you sign up for a sticker or RV Lifers Nation sticker. And we're going to draw this Sunday. We're going to draw the winner of the new shirts. Check them out. So we'll be sending you guys one of these. We'll get your information, get you the right size. We'll get it out to you. No problem. And a little bit of a thank you for always being here with us. Let's see. Okay. Oh, look at that. They're booked. Yep, we'll be catching you there. Moving to a new state. Would love to film corporate events that come and quite frequent. What's the best way to get noticed? As now, I'm currently he became a small business. Any suggestion?
Yeah. So I would recommend the service that I said earlier, Production Hub. Production Hub is great because you can put your location in. You said you just moved to a new state, so you can put your location in there, and then I would pay for the top tier program. So whatever program says it gets you to the page 1 search results, that is the most important part of what you are buying. Because I have had countless times where I get hired and I'm on the job and I said, hey, how did you find me? They said Production Hub. And I said, oh, okay. Like how many people did you go through? And they said, you were on the first page. You were the first one. And that's not by my effort. That's just by my payment. My payment brought me to the first search result.
Hey,
and
you gotta.
Yeah, because I had a profile that looked was confidence instilling into the client. So I had example videos, I had pictures of me working. That just was all the approval they needed to send the email. So you're paying to be on page 1 of Production Hub is extremely important, and then having the profile that makes the client confident is the second step. And then they reach out to you, or they companies put out leads, and then you go towards those leads.
Yep, that's really great. I'm getting ready to, as you know, we talked offline. I'm getting ready to start looking at that. I've been looking at Upwork, and Upwork is a little weird because someone wants to pay you $5 for a 20-minute video, and to edit it, I'm like, yeah, no. So not worth my time. But well, we're almost here to the end. We got 5 minutes. If you guys have any last questions, please put it in the comments now. Again, make sure you go and check out his channel. And oh, that wasn't your channel. I don't know what happened to it. But anyways, go check him out. Ruth put it in the description right there. And you know, he does great content. You'll never know where he's gonna be next. So make sure you check him out. It's definitely a good way to, follow that journey that he does.
Yeah, and I'm trying to make videos for all the interesting jobs that I get. I think it's really cool just to be able to see, how does this work? How does that work? How does that work? But then I also get a lot of people who want to ask more questions, and then I do private calls with people as well. So
Yes.
sometimes people will have questions about what camera gear should I get, or have you seen this business situation before? And I can say yes, no, my colleague has, my peer has, and I can give you kind of all that industry knowledge in a one-on-one format through a consultation call. And so far, they've been pretty helpful for the people who have signed up for them. So that's always available if you want to get more information as well.
So you have, hey, another Ruth saying, "Hey, David."
Yeah, Ruth is about to go on a trip through Southeast Asia, covering a documenting a wildlife show, essentially.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
So Ruth, you should vlog too.
Welcome to our live, Ruth. This is my Ruth. She's the pain in the butt one, but she's good. We've been together a long time, so thank you for being here. Welcome. All right. Oh, look, another subscriber. Great. Thanks, Kathy. Appreciate it. So, thanks for your time. I really appreciate you being here today, man. Hopefully, this helped all of you guys out there, and you guys have some pretty good questions. So we'll try this again at some point, and maybe it becomes a thing, and you guys like it. That's great. So, it's good when you merge two worlds that probably wouldn't come together otherwise, and I think we did that today. So thank you, David, for being here. I'm going to put you down below. Hold on until after. And do you have any last words to say?
Yeah. Adrian, appreciate it, man. I've never done a YouTube live. This was about as seamless as a process that I've ever had. So thank you for this. Thank you for letting me talk to your community and kind of show what I do. And I'd love to hear more of what you guys do. And happy to be back anytime I can.
Okay.
Oh, come here.
What?
Come on, it's okay. All right, so here's the other half of the channel. So that's my wife, Ruth. David, if you never met.
Nice to meet you.
So
I've been trying to hold the dog off.
she's the funny one in the channel. People like her better than me, but that's okay.
I appreciate all the behind the scenes help, Ruth.
So, yeah, make sure you go check them out and
go subscribe.
Yep. So I'm gonna put you down below. We'll be right with you after the show ends. All right, guys. Thank you for being here. Great informative. I'm glad you guys liked it. That's why I wanted to do it, because the biggest thing, we wanted to show that he's got the Mac Daddy camera, right? Because this is what he does for a living. But the contrast is that he uses his phone, and it works. It works. So that's what I've been trying to say forever. And you can just go and do it however you want, whenever you want, and it doesn't matter. Get out there, do your thing. Don't be scared. And, we're here to help. So thanks for being on. We really, really appreciate it. And what'd you say?
Hasta la próxima.
Until the next time. Love you guys.